A new low-fare airline between the United States and Asia is set to take off in autumn 2022. Northern Pacific Airways plans to link 5 airports in the continental U.S. with 4 destinations in Japan and Korea. What's the catch? A stopover in a 6th U.S. destination, Anchorage, Alaska. Stevens Anchorage International Airport is to be Northern Pacific's hub between Los Angeles, San Francisco, Las Vegas, New York and Orlando in the US, and Tokyo, Nagoya and Osaka, Japan, and Seoul, South Korea. Old Asia hands may be reminded of the 80s or earlier. Refueling stops in Anchorage were routine back then. The rest of us may be wondering why we'd opt for a layover when there are now non-stop flights to Japan and Korea from all 4 corners of the lower 48. Northern Pacific makes a compelling case, and it's not just the low fares. First, geography. On a flat map, Alaska looks far from just about everywhere else. But chart out the shortest route on a globe. Go ahead. Use a string. I'll wait. And you'll see that most flights between North America and East Asia actually get pretty close to Anchorage. It's that crazy curvature-of-the-Earth thing. So a stopover isn't as outlandish as it first appears. Second, the Icelandair model. By now everyone knows that Iceland is beautiful, but how many of us had thought much about it before Icelandair touted Reykjavik as a stopover between North America and Europe? These days, scads of transit visitors zoo and fjords and glaciers and soak in hot tubs before continuing on, and for some, Iceland is the destination. Northern Pacific is betting that it can make Anchorage, gateway to Alaska's natural wonders, the Reykjavik of the Pacific. The airline has even enlisted the help of Icelandair for its launch. In Europe and in other places where we've set up a similar system, we could see immediate benefits from the stopover in the hub, says Erlendur Svavarsson, Senior Vice President of Loftleidir Icelandic, which manages aircraft for Icelandair. Third, the great state of Alaska is pumped. Obviously, this is a big development for Anchorage, says Kathy Dunn, Vice President of Communications for Visit Anchorage. We get people coming to our airport visitor center and saying I have 4 hours, I have 6 hours, I have a full day. What can I see? She says. The answer might be something as elaborate as a sightseeing flight to Denali, largest mountain in the US, or hiking in the Chugach Mountains, or as local as the Alaska Native Heritage Center in town. Just driving the 6 miles into downtown, Dunn says, your chances of seeing a moose are huge. Whether visitors transit, stop over en route, or fly Northern Pacific for domestic travel, she says, this introduction of service is definitely going to have an impact on how many visitors come to the stat.